There's depth, there's connection.
You know, I think Paul has high integrity, he perseveres, he has honesty.
You haven't lived until you've heard one of Paulie's stories. And on the other hand, you might not live long enough to hear the end of one of Paulie's stories.
Paul Cocker was born in Hamilton, Ontario, and received his engineering diploma from what is now Ryerson University. Following graduation, he joined McKay Cocker, which was founded by Hugh McKay and Paul's father, Herb Cocker, in 1946. Working in the field in estimating and in operations, Paul became construction manager in 1970, vice president several years later, and then chairman, president, and CEO.
When his dad was retired, and his dad was on his own and nearing the end days of his life, Paul would always pick up his dad and bring him out to the work sites and show him where they were, Woodstock or Tillsonburg or London. They'd go out to the jobs and walk them. Still to this day, he says. Wonder what Herb would think about this.
He puts his heart and soul into his company. It hasn't been an easy road for Paul. He replaced his father in the company, and then his major partner died. And it was suddenly, and that became a huge blow. Many wondered whether the company would survive, but Paul he sticks with it, and he's not only survived, but thrived.
Jacques died suddenly, and that puts anybody in high stress, but in a business like the construction industry, which is highly competitive and stuff like that, it's very difficult to replace someone like that. Paul managed to pull his forces together and reassign responsibilities and take the company to a whole new level.
Paul built the company and led its growth into the areas of design build and construction management, which is now the bulk of the company's work. McKay Cocker projects are found all around the City of London and throughout the province and the country. But his pride and joy is London's Covent Garden Market, completed in 1999.
It was a project that involved a very complicated business deal. It was something that was new to us. Our company actually had to invest in the project in order to get it moving, and Paul was the guy that pieced it all together.
Certainly in business, his approach with people is very accommodating, and he listens. He is a listener. And takes account of the views of people around him. So, and that's a tricky thing to do when you've got difficult situations that you've got to deal with to be inclusive. And that's certainly something that he does in spades.
When you have a public project like Covent Garden Market, there's many setbacks along the way. You've got really 350,000 people looking at you because they own part of it. And so the process can go down many different alleys, and Paul had incredible patience sticking with it. Not many would, and I've never quite met anyone in that field that had that kind of patience. And couple that with integrity, love of London, the results speak for themselves. In the project I was involved with, and it's the best market in all of Canada.
Paul's commitment to London is seen also in the building of many not-for-profit projects, as well as his volunteer positions in many charities and professional associations.
The business community and other communities within the City of London. He's been directors of different agencies like the LEDC and London Hydro, and his charity work, his involvement with building different non-for-profits in the city, like Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sisters of St. Joseph's Residence, YMCA, the original YMCA downtown, rebuilding of YMCAs, community centers, bridges, roundabouts, water and sewer treatment plants, just so much within the City of London.
And Paul recently received an Alumni Award of Distinction from Ryerson, recognizing his professional achievements and personal commitment to the community.
As I see Paul Cocker, he's very, very philanthropic. If you look at his resume of activities that he's been involved in, he's on an advisory board for Ryerson University. he's been a significant donor there as well. So he's always contributed, in my mind, going back a number of years, to our community with his philanthropy and with his care for the community.
Outside the offices of McKay Cocker, Paul and his wife Trish Fulton have 4 children and recently welcomed their first grandchild, Kai. He's also an avid squash player, a yoga enthusiast, a sculptor, cyclist, and stellar golfer.
Rainy, early in the morning, not too many players out. We were on the 8th hole of the golf club, and Paulie hit one, 125 yards, landed on the green, rolled up, and went into the hole. Well, he was pretty excited about that. Ever since then, you come to the same hole, he'll remind you of the story. This is how he did it, this is where the ball went, and he thinks probably he'll be able to do it again, which he hasn't done yet, to my knowledge.
Congratulations, Paul, 2012 Laureate, London and District Business Hall of Fame.
He's changed London's landscape. He's been able to do some very significant projects, which he can walk with his grandchild around town and say, I made a difference here, look what I've done, and feel very, very proud. So I think he's very deserving of this award.
He's a real gentleman, and in a time when I think real gentlemen in business are a premium.
Wherever I drive down the street, there's a project that McKay Cocker and Paul has been involved with over his lifetime with the company. So I think he's just very deserving.